This is Scott Whitwam with your morning real estate investor update. And today's top story, home affordability. As investors, sometimes we forget that we have a vested interest in home affordability. Of course, we always want to maximize our profits when we're selling or renting, but we need both buyers and renters to be able to afford what we're offering. Currently, we have two presidential candidates with different ideas of how to make homes affordable. One who wants to give $25,000 to first-time homebuyers and to have the government build 3 million new homes to deal with the lack of housing. The other wants to reduce builder regulations, lower inflation through supply, and lower interest rates by empowering the energy sector. The reality is that the housing levels have never recovered from the 2008 real estate crash. As long as there are housing shortages, the real estate market will continue to be on the leading edge of unaffordability for the average wage earner. Today's mortgage rate update. Has the fall started? Interest rates moved downward last week. Financial networks are discussing the real possibility that the Fed will cut the funds rate this month. There is speculation that they may make a half-point cut, and the mortgage rates have already started to moving lower in anticipation. I've remained skeptical, as the Fed has teased cuts before and had to forego cuts due to bad economic numbers. Time restrains me from detailing all of the recent bad economic news related to the jobs and inflation. But with a looming election, I'm now leaning towards rate cuts coming, more than I was a few months ago. Freddie Mac reported that at the end of last week, the 30-year rate fixed mortgage national average was 6.35%, down from the previous week's 30-year average at 6.43%, and the 15-year also ended at 5.47%. In today's wrap-up, the cost of building homes is on the rise. We all remember the massive increase in lumber prices during the 2020 pandemic. Happily, the price of lumber has come back down, dropping to its lowest levels since April of 2020 in May of last year. Even as inflation has rocked the U.S. economy with upwards of 20% higher prices for food, housing, and energy compared to just 3 years ago, lumber has been relatively stable and avoided most of the run-ups. However, that has changed in the last few months, as fuel, transportation, and higher demand are causing the commodity to rise. According to the National Association of Home Builders, the framing lumber composite price rose 1.6% during the last week reported, and lumber prices have now risen for 5 consecutive weeks. Be sure to subscribe to the Morning Real Estate Investor Update and catch me on the weekly Whitwam Wealth Real Estate Podcast.